Wonderful. So we're good to go ahead and get started. Okay, awesome. So hello, everyone, and welcome. This is the opening ceremony for the IBC Ideathon, Ideahacker's Guide to IBC. My name is Mary McGilvray. I am the product marketing lead for IBC. And tonight we have a very exciting event for you. We have some leaders from the Interchain Foundation. I'll briefly introduce each. And then before they each speak, they'll give you a better introduction as to who they are. So with me, I have our wonderful CMO of the Interchain Foundation, Nico.
Hello,
We
hello.
also have our community of practice product leader for the Interchain ecosystem, Carmel.
Hello.
And then we have our DevX lead for the Interchain, Ollie.
Good to be here.
So the purpose of this event today is to briefly remind you that, hey, today is the day that the idea submission period starts for Ideahacker's Guide to IBC. Idea submission runs from October 7th to 27th. And you can find out all this information by going to ideahackers.ibcprotocol.dev. We have some exciting prizes up for grabs. There's a $30,000 prize pool. We're giving out 25 different cash prizes for the best ideas. And the first place winners can win an all expenses paid trip to Istanbul to work on your idea in real life. And to give you a taste of what that might look like, each of our colleagues from the Interchain Foundation will be sharing a bit about their specialty and their area, and also share with you some useful information and also some inspiring view into what you might look forward to as you grow within the Interchain and with the Interchain Stack. And so with that, I would like to kick off with Carmel, our community of practice product lead for the Interchain. She works very closely with the IBC team at the Interchain Foundation. Carmel, would you mind starting off by giving us a little bit of an introduction to you and your background?
Thank you, Mary. I'm excited to be here, so thank you all for joining us wherever you are in the world. I do product. I love product. I've been doing product for over 10 years, and we're spoiled in the Web2 world and having the best experiences, as you can imagine. And now the blockchain space has attracted me because of the potential of foundational change that it can drive. I've worked with the EVM side of the world on Ethereum, with Consensus, with different dApps, as well as on the Cosmos side with Kava, different chains, launching different dApps as well. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to share with you guys some of the things that we're focusing on and our product direction.
Thank you so much for that, Carmel. And with that, do you mind taking us away, giving us your deep dive?
Awesome. Thank you. Even though we're all spread out all over the world, I believe that the energy that you'll be bringing and the creativity you'll be bringing is going to give us some incredible ideas and innovation. So I'm really excited to hear and go through the ideas that you guys submit for us starting today. First, we're going to talk a little bit about IBC. So IBC is a general purpose messaging protocol for the Interchain. So it allows blockchains to communicate with each other by transporting and authenticating data. If I have a big, bold banner in front of me right now, I would say our mission is to have IBC everywhere. So what does that really mean? It means that we envision a future where blockchains can seamlessly connect and communicate with each other. And data can flow and assets can flow without friction. And we know that's a lot in this blockchain space, right? There's a lot to solve for there. So what does that really mean for you and your ideas that you'll be bringing for us? I really think this is going to be a chance for you to be a part of forming and shaping the future of this, yeah? We believe in product-led thinking. So as you're considering ideas and you're looking for inspiration, really think about what problems you'd like to solve for the end users. Our end users here can be developers, can be chains, can be users that are interacting with dApps, can be dApp builders. It can be many different segments, right? So there's a lot to consider here. And really, if we think about some themes around these ideas, connectivity is one, optimization is one, simplicity is one. And these are buckets that I believe everyone in this ecosystem in this space is solving for. And what does that really mean if we dig deeper into that? Cross-chain connectivity. So how might we, the question I would ask is, how might we enable seamless communication across all major blockchains? So not one blockchain together with the chains, across all major blockchains. How might we do that? How might we solve for that in an elegant way? And then the second bit is, how can we evolve beyond assets, right? Beyond token transfers. So if you think about cross communication between tokens, smart contracts, NFTs, DeFi protocols, etc., how might we enhance that cross-chain communication for these different and new use cases? Yeah. And then developer experience. We want to make their lives easier, developers' lives easier. So if you think about it, what can we build that is plug and play that developers can just take and use, that enhances their experience, that allows them to build faster, optimize it, etc. And the one that everyone is trying to solve is this unified user experience. So if you think about the wallets you have, the dApps that you interact with, how can we make them simple and intuitive, right? What can you create, or what ideas do you have in the space that attracts new users because it's easy to onboard? The barrier to entry is significantly lower, etc. Because as you imagine now, there's fragmentation. Why would I move from this blockchain to this blockchain? It's very hard for me to do that. So think about this unified user experience and what can you come up with to solve for that? So these are like high level ideas I would consider. They might inspire you to think outside the box, etc. So we're really excited to see innovative ideas that you'll bring for us. And I really want you to think outside the box. I want you to take risks. I want you to think creatively, and most importantly, really have fun with it. This is not a strict, like it needs to be X, Y, Z, and that's it. Really, creativity is all it takes, and I'm thankful to have you here and join us, and I can't wait to see what you bring to the table.
Thank you so much, Carmel. Can I ask you one follow-up question? What makes IBC special relative to other interoperability protocols? And I'm not asking like on the super technical level, but in broad strokes, can you tell us a little bit about why IBC is so unique?
One, I would say security, trust, and I would say that it has the ability to expand and serve and solve for these problems. So it's not that it's strict into a black box solution. There is the ability to take bits and pieces and components of it and grow it to solve these different themes that we just covered. So I would think that you're not cornered into using a one solution that operates a specific way. No, it has the ability to expand and solve for all of these things. And it is very trusted and is very secure. So that's to our advantage.
And are there, maybe if I'm an idea hacker and I'm looking for some ideas, are there any, you would say, like really interesting IBC use cases out there that you might say, hey, check this out to get inspired? Is there any specific one maybe that already exists?
That already exists with IBC. There's a lot of like the bridge communications that already exist that allows for beautiful token transfers. The name of the specific one escapes me, but the beautiful user experience that's built on top of it is amazing. But I would think along these lines of like easier, seamless token transfers or transfers across different chains that would make the user's lives better.
Wonderful. And my last question for you, Carmel, is you are newer to the team at the Interchain Foundation. We're so happy to have you. Could you maybe just tell us a little bit about like your role with the ICF and, you know, ways we might expect to see you in the future?
Yes. My role is to make sure that we are thinking about problems that provide value, or solving for problems that provide value. So outside of here's how things are operating, it's thinking of, from a product perspective, what value do I provide users? And also applying product thinking throughout that process. So what does that really look like? It looks like hypothesis development, validation, including these very fast feedback loops. And I understand sometimes with blockchain, because it takes time to develop, it takes time to launch and upgrade. It may take longer to get feedback loops, but there are creative ways around that. So we are looking to apply that across our ecosystem in order for us to build meaningful experiences and providing really value to our different end users. So this would be part of my role here. And like you mentioned, I am involved with the IBC team currently. So as we think about our next releases and launches and roadmap, talking to different partners and users and doing all of that homework to ensure that we are delivering value. We are solving for problems that users are experiencing and making their lives easier and increasing adoption generally across our ecosystem.
Fantastic. Very happy to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, up next, we have Ollie, who is the developer experience lead at the Interchain Foundation. Ollie, before you dive in, could you tell us a little bit about you and your background?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Ollie, and I love everything relating to dev relations and dev experience. And so, yeah, I mean, a bit of my own story. I think it might resonate with some of you. Is I've always been a tinkerer, a builder. So yeah, someone I guess who likes to push the boundaries of what we can do with technology. That passion led me to study a computer science and investment degree. And yeah, eventually I stumbled upon the fascinating world of blockchain back in 2017. And so yeah, since then I've been working on and off in the space, but truly dived into the Cosmos ecosystem and the broader Interchain in 2021. And so have been a tight piece of that since then. And yeah, I'm here for good, because it's been it's been really inspiring, especially coming from the world of EVM in like sort of 2018 to over to the Interchain ecosystem. I think there's a lot of really exciting stuff here.
Thank you so much, Ollie. And so what wisdom do you have for our idea hackers? Tell us everything.
Yeah, so I mean, following on from that kind of history of mine, some of the early stuff that I found really inspiring and exciting was actually the power of hackathons, like those sort of intense collaborative environments where I guess I honed my skills and formed long-lasting connections with other passionate builders. Some of my closest friends actually are collaborators I met at these types of events, and during late night coding sessions as well. But that's also what I like about the Ideathon, is it doesn't require like programming ability. It's not only for developers, it's expanded above that to anyone with any technical experience. But yeah, for me, hackathons, ideathons, anything of the sort, they're more than just competitions. They're these learning experiences, opportunities to dive into new technologies, and a chance to contribute something meaningful in a collaborative and challenging way. And I guess that's what I also want to emphasize to the participants of the Ideathon, like is the incredible value of participating in these types of events, especially within the Interchain. So I mean, they look great on a CV as well if you're interested in getting jobs in the Interchain and becoming a closer part of the tight-knit group that we have. And speaking of the Interchain, what makes it so unique is at its core is that like sort of application-specific chain thesis. Like it's a powerful idea that recognizes the unique needs of different applications. Instead of trying to cram everything onto a single monolithic blockchain, the app chain thesis allows developers to sort of create custom blockchains and roll-ups to their specific use cases. So like imagine a future where every business, every organization has its own optimized blockchain or roll-up, or they're deploying on somewhere optimized, and it's perfectly suited to their needs. That's in my mind the power of that thesis and what we're building here. But the most important part is that if we created all of these little siloed ecosystems, they'd all be fragmented, and they'd be sort of isolated little islands, and that's the importance of IBC and what we're digging into today with the Ideathon as well. And yeah, it's the protocol that connects the little islands, enabling all of the seamless communication and interoperability, and yeah, it unlocks that interconnected Web3 world we're all trying to build and strive towards. And so yeah, it allows different chains to leverage their strengths, and users to like seamlessly navigate across the whole ecosystem. But yeah, IBC is also part of the Interchain Stack. We're all wearing our, everyone but Nico, we're wearing our our representative Interchain Stack t-shirts.
Laundry day, sorry.
Apparently we have a uniform. But yeah, so the Interchain Stack, it's made up of 5 components. Naturally, we're focusing on IBC today, but the other ones are the Cosmos SDK, which provides the foundation for building custom blockchains and rollups. It gives you the freedom to sort of choose those functionalities and features that you need. Comet BFT, that's the consensus mechanism, ensuring that everything stays in sync and stays secure. Lovely battle-tested algorithm there. Cosmosm, for those of you coming from the world of smart contracts, that is the dynamic on-chain code that allows people to sort of extend the functionality of the underlying chains with smart contracts on top. And it's nice because it's written in Rust. I love Rust. And then we have Cosm.js, which wraps everything together in a nice, neat user experience so that your end users can actually be interacting with these. But of course, IBC is the star of the show. It's the thing that brings it all together. It enables all of these exciting cross-chain DeFi NFTs that can travel across ecosystems and gaming experiences that span multiple worlds. And so, yeah, we're seeing some awesome innovation happening in the Interchain already. And I mean, even a number of well-known projects that not many people know are built with the Interchain Stack are actually like the Polygons and the Binances of the world. And so it's permeated a lot of the Web3 ecosystem. And I find that really exciting. Naturally, the interoperability side as well continues to expand, and it's been opening doors to Solana, Ethereum, and the EVM world. Things are coming for Cardano, and much more. Yeah, the Interchain Stack's being used everywhere, from decentralized exchanges to gaming platforms, supply chain, everything you can possibly imagine. And IBC is growing for connecting those different applications and protocols. And yeah, again, that's why we're here today, to explore those possibilities and push the boundaries of what's possible with IBC. This Ideathon is your chance to showcase your creativity, to turn your eureka moments into innovative solutions. And we're looking for groundbreaking ideas that leverage the power of IBC to create truly interoperable solutions. Think about how you can use IBC to connect different blockchains to enable new forms of cross-chain interaction that are more secure, more efficient, and more user-friendly, please. And to help you on your journey, we're constantly improving the developer experience within the Interchain. That's my core focus. So we've got some cool things coming. We've got a unified doc site in the works, which is going to be exciting, pulling in all of the Interchain Stack components into a one-stop shop. But one of the really exciting things that we have that I think is going to be able to help a lot of the idea hackers is we've just launched an AI bot inside of Discord. it has ingested all of the information, particularly on IBC, but also the other Stack components, and you're able to interact with that just through the dev support channel. So it's there 24/7 if you need to reach out to an AI entity to dig into some of the questions you might have on your journey. Some of us are also in the Discord support so that we can also ask or answer rather any questions that you might have if the bot isn't doing its thing. But yeah, some of the other stuff that's coming up, keep an eye out there for those of you who are interested in the coding side or getting into that in later days. There will be an Interchain Developer Academy coming, expected end of January, and that's where you can level up your coding skills and become a certified Interchain developer. And for those of you who have some coding experience already, there is also a major hackathon happening in Dubai towards the end of the month as part of Cosmoverse. That's called Hackmos. And some of us are also going to be at an event in Barcelona in December, also for the hackers out there. But yeah, I've seen firsthand how hackathons can spark incredible innovation and collaboration. I've formed lifelong friendships and valuable professional relationships through these events. Yeah, we've even had some good laughs along the way. Yeah, collaborating on exciting projects through hackathons, societies, courses. They're all fantastic ways to engage with a community and build your skills. And I mean, as these AI bots sort of become more prevalent, the human element is going to start becoming more important. So go out there, connect with other passionate builders, and make the most of these opportunities. And for those of you attending your first hackathon/ideathon, my one piece of advice: engage as much as possible, be a good teammate, showcase your skills, find your niche. The Ideathon is a great starting point, giving you the foundational knowledge to tackle even bigger challenges in future hackathons, or if you get that chance to go to Istanbul as well, to put that idea in motion. Remember, the Interchain is a welcoming and supportive technical community, if you can avoid some of the Twitter politics. So don't be afraid to ask questions and seek help when you need it. The Interchain Stack, it's a marvel of engineering. Its modularity and flexibility allow developers to build custom solutions tailored to their specific needs. And with IBC as the thing that makes it the internet of blockchains, the Interchain, it's all really pioneering a new era of blockchain interoperability. And yeah, we envision it becoming the default interoperability protocol, just like TCP/IP is for the internet. So what are you waiting for? Dive into the Ideathon, submit your innovative ideas on Dora hacks, start building the future of the Interchain. This is your chance to make a real impact and to contribute to a growing ecosystem. And yeah, all of these other exciting things are just around the corner as well. Keep those creative juices flowing. Future of blockchain is interconnected, and with IBC, we're building that future together. Your ideas could be the innovations that shape tomorrow's decentralized world, and I cannot wait to see what you create. Thanks, team.
Thank you so much, Ollie. That was fantastic. I have actually one question. For those of our idea hackers who maybe are newer to the Interchain ecosystem, one of the things that you mentioned is that there are actually many, many real world use cases and also some very large blockchains that are actually built using parts of the Interchain stack. So can you actually bring up what some of those might be? Because some of them, I mean, we know that some of them are ones that don't advertise that they're built on the Interchain stack. So I'm just curious if we could share that with our viewers.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of the big popular ones that are quite prominent. So yeah, I mentioned Polygon and Binance Smart Chain, or whatever it's called today. I can never keep track of. But yeah, they're built with components of the Interchain stack. And then there's exciting newer projects, not financial advice, but the likes of Celestia. And there's a lot of things in the ecosystem that are, shaking things up. And because of the modularity and the ability for developers to go out and build something application specific, they are all unique to each other. And so that's what makes them really exciting. Yeah, possibilities are limitless, and yeah, the interoperability between them is pretty critical. So yeah, I mean, some of the other ones that I find interesting from that application specific side is seeing the likes of Akash, which is a very, in my mind, a technically good example of something that is very application specific. It's dedicated to just decentralized physical infrastructure and does that one thing with its sole purpose. Rather than trying to do too many different things for too many different people. And so, yeah, seeing applications like that also get me excited. And naturally, it's IBC connected, and building cool things that interact with these different application-specific chains is where I think the ecosystem is particularly powerful.
Fantastic, fantastic. And so for our viewers, Ollie, if they want to find you, where could they find you or your team?
Yeah, so probably the best place to find me is on the Discord server. So that's discord.gg/interchain if you aren't on it already. I think you pick up the Interchain Stack role, and then that opens up the developer channels. That's where myself and my team hang out a lot, as well as our new AI bot, who's also hanging out there. And so that's probably the best way to reach me, is tagging me through Discord. And yeah, I'm very available there, as well as the team and the 24/7 new bot, which I'm going to keep just sliding in there. But yeah, so come find me there. I'm also on Twitter and all of the other platforms, but I think best way for this particular event, Discord's going to be the best way to find me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ollie.
Thanks, team.
Our final guest for this evening is the Interchain Foundation CMO, Nico Poggi. Hello, Nico.
Hello, hello. Happy Monday. Super excited to be here. Super excited to be talking IBC and specifically the Ideathon. If you bear with me for a minute or two, I'll do a quick intro. I'm Nico, Nicolas, Nico, whatever variation works, depending on where you are at the world. I'm from Argentina. I've been roaming around usually, but I came into Web3 through the infrastructure corner. So IPFS, ENS, Falco, and Arweave, and all the fun, less financial sides of Web3 initially. And then that door opened a plethora of Pandora boxes into what Web3 and distributed technologies are to me. Since then, been working in different sides of it, both the ones that I mentioned already and other places like Near, ICP, Ethereum, and so on, but mostly working in growth, which usually people might say like, oh, growth is just like numbers, let's go up, and then some marketing here and there on campaigns. But it's a little it's a little bit more holistic usually, of like, okay, you want some people to achieve something on the things that you're building or the technology that you're building. In this case, usually I work in developer-oriented spaces. And then how do you give them the opportunities to get there? Or how do you build the steps for them to get there? Aside from putting the thing in front of them, which is the first step of it all. But yeah, I'm like a hybrid little background that I have. It's usually like 50-50 on the tech front and the marketing or growth side. I always say this, and I'll burn this joke to the ground today, but I had the unfortunate origin story in coding with C#. Fortunately, I don't touch that anymore, but that pushed me through all that I do and know in Rust and other languages today, and into the world of developer-oriented growth, aside from that past trauma. So Ideathon is specifically like, why do I like to mention a little bit of my background? It's because I do participate in a lot of hackathons and idea-oriented hackathons as well, or I've had in the past. And having a hybrid background sometimes can feel a little bit intimidating to say like, I'm not a developer, I'm not a coder, maybe I don't know all the technical details. But to kick it off, like in terms of what you need to look at, I'll give you from my own experience. It's simply looking for information, opportunities, and building blocks. So information, you want to just understand the base concepts of the technology you will be building with, or the tools that you'll be using. In this case, IBC. And this amazing team surrounding me has done a lot of good work towards that. Opportunities means taking the thing that you're working with and then looking at other things in other spaces, in other ecosystems, in other fields, in global problems you might see in the world, and saying like, what can this do for this? It's not about the tech, it's not about the engineering details of how it is done by the tool, but what the tool achieves and the impact it can have in other places, or by mishmashing it with other Lego components. That piece of just like steps or approach towards thinking in hackathon and ideathons helped me a lot join in, participate, and chip in with my corner of or percentage of ideas to the table, and contribute in developing from maybe the earlier architecture sides and outlying concepts. And that's also a little bit of what I do from my end, working in growth. It's like, what are the opportunities that we put in front of the builders themselves so they can get chances that they can take a risk on, or take chances that they can make a judgment call on and decide whether they want to pursue it. It starts at the top with information, making information as accessible as possible, meaning us working to make everything you know from the stack today, together with Alia, Mary, and all the team here, to educate people not just on like the technical and engineering side of the components of the Interchain Stack or IBC, but what it does in functionality, what's the impact it has. And that's a lot of our focus as well for the coming year, to make it so in a like full picture way for the entirety of the stack, and understand what impact it can have both at a granular level or just building with the stack as a whole, which we love, of course, to focus on. But information itself is one thing, and then giving people or builders the opportunity to act on the information, or the things they get exposed to, is the next big step. So if we weren't from marketing, we now go and move on to enablement. It's meaning, what ecosystem spaces do we build, what communities, what local hubs, what online communities from developers here with Ollie and the team can we build and put in front of the builders at the right moment, so that once they learn the key concepts, they can jump onto the next stage. The Ideathon is a great example of this. You start to learn all the basic concepts and building blocks of IBC, and then you simply get in a room with a bunch of people that want to ideate on the same concept and idea, and start looking outside of the box to see what can be achieved. The Ideathon as an activation on our side of growth, for example, is one of the things that we can conduct from an ideation. You get an idea, and then the next opportunity we need to present to the builders would ideally be a hackathon, a way to incubate the idea, or some way to pursue technical knowledge to build that idea, right? So that's a lot of what we're focused on as well from this area for next year, which is building that road. There's a lot of things in the Interchain. It's a vast ecosystem, and its complexity is not just understanding the tech, it's understanding the opportunities that are out there, because as Ollie said, and I know Sultan loves this, they are limitless opportunities. We have a lot of ecosystems. We have an ecosystem of ecosystems, practically, just an ecosystem of 110 plus chains connected by IBC. And you can see all of those chains as individual opportunities of what you can build here in this Ideathon. For example, you can take the core concepts you learn from IBC, and each day go explore another ecosystem that's building on the Interchain Stack. See what they provide. What are the technologies and features they enable? What are they solving as a problem? A lot of the key projects that are building on IBC today started through that like approach. You can see the unions, the skips of the ecosystem. They grabbed IBC as a core tool, and they simply looked at other problems that were happening across Web3 or the world. And that can be other ecosystems, grabbing IBC and saying, "Oh, what's going on in Solana?" And then Picasso made an implementation to connect both ecosystems, and now there's new possibilities there. These are just some examples of what it means to seek and also generate those opportunities for the builders. And in our particular case, we will be following up the Ideathon itself with a little bit more opportunity building. We mentioned a little bit here and there about Turkey and Istanbul. And yes, we definitely want to bring, aside from the price itself and the price pool, another set of opportunities for the idea hackers and builders to bring their ideas to life after the Ideathon, which will be followed up by an incubator type event in Istanbul, so that you get support from local builders, from as well the team that you see here, to get your ideas resourced and moving along, so they grow, mature, you understand the restrictions, you can test it, maybe make some proofs or at least some concepts, explore them, and go through that process of building an idea up into a more solid proof of concept. We're super excited for that. We're super excited already by the Ideathon itself, and all the things that might come out of it, and looking forward into Istanbul and the possibility of incubating or exploring some of those ideas further. It's just magical to me specifically. This is, I gather, the beginning of the road for everybody here. There's a lot more steps along the way where everybody in this room, aside from a lot of other builders and supporters and mentors that will be providing along the way, will be helping you, advising you through the channels Oli has shared, including our Discord. We're all usually quite readily available to help. And no question is too small or too big for the team when it comes to idea generation. Again, you don't have to be extremely technical. You just have to think in concepts, abstracts, and what opportunities you want to chase. And from there, you'll probably find something to explore that will be very fruitful.
Nico, could you share with us a little bit more about what your vision would be for maybe the growth and success of the Interchain over time? Like what might that look like to you as the CMO of the Interchain Foundation?
I think today I'll make the biggest parallel towards IBC, right? IBC interconnects a lot of ecosystems, independent sovereign ecosystems. And when I suggest that people here go find opportunities in all the ecosystems that form the Interchain, I expect to address the same thing at an ecosystem health perspective from my role or the CMO vertical or the growth vertical, which is to say there's a lot of things happening already at the Interchain, and navigating the Interchain as a builder, user, or anybody exploring its concepts, technology, and the fun that you can have in it is not easy today. Today, navigating the Interchain is very fragmented, while all ecosystems are connected via IBC on paper as an experience from a community side or from a learning experience even. They're not fully connected. There's not a linear happy path that you can follow. And that's the beginning. Like that's the starting point for us to making this easier to navigate, and then building the right gathering spaces, both online or local community hubs, so that all of these ecosystems can actually come together for a moment, aside from being isolated from each other, and giving more and more chances for them to interact. Every project that we see, and even if you go, I gather in Map of Zones, you click on a project connected on IBC, and you'll see that it has at a minimum 8 to 10 connections to other projects. Those things were spread out or born in situations like this, even Hackmos and Cosmos in the last couple of years. It was a matter of generating those gathering points and opportunities for overlapping, and then the tech is there. So making it extremely accessible, creating a good, healthy space for people to gather and work together with actual purpose, like today, for example, and double, like just taking that further next year to actually involve ecosystems in a more consistent and peer-based way, rather than frugal opportunities that pop up here and there, or by chance we meet at Cosmoverse. That's going to be key, in my opinion, as well, to make builders just interact more, get enriched by all the good work and technologies everybody's exploring, and find more opportunities to build together.
So I have 2 more questions for you, Nico. The first question is, you are newer for the team at the Interchain Foundation. Can you tell us a little bit maybe about your role and how maybe the community could expect to see you moving forward, or some of the impacts they might see as a result of your work?
Ideally, wearing the same uniform as the rest of the team to begin with. And then after that is done, we can focus on the growth side of things, which encompasses a lot of things. Again, I said growth and marketing, and maybe growth hacking are a lot of words that people throw into the air and think like, it's just making some ads campaigns and that's done. Growth, at least at our organization today, encompasses how do we build opportunities on the business side for the ecosystem? How do we build and support the ecosystem? How do we think on product marketing on all of our components of the stack and improve that? And then how do we create actual community, of course, at the Interchain and in general, the broader ecosystem. Those are the topics that are top of mind for me today. That for 2025, I think are going to be like the key lineup items in our little Interchain festival. It's going to be very exciting. And I think deepening those weaker points that we can call out, for example, on just more consistent unified marketing for the stack as a whole, making it way more accessible from the research and simply the experience front altogether. And then from the ecosystem front, creating that joint space for everybody to gather in, and is like the minimum step for us to continue further. As Ollie said, like the best example is with a unified documentation alone, that can be easily expandable to understand all the other things that can compose formally or informal the Interchain Stack, for example, other libraries and technologies from other ecosystem players within the Interchain that actually broaden the possibilities of building with the stack. Those are some of the challenges I'm heavily focused on and will be locked in for the coming year as well, and that I'm terrifically excited about. Usually when I see comparable stacks or other products outside of the Interchain and the broader Cosmos ecosystem, you can see people that have either figured out the ecosystem part, they have figured out the resources part maybe, but the technology front has not been fully figured out or scalable or fully stacked really today. Yes, there's a lot of development to go and to continue working on. There's a lot of things to address at the stack level without a doubt. But today there's no competition on that side. So as long as we can focus on the surrounding things as well, we'll be extremely competitive, and I'm very excited about it.
And are there, in addition to this Ideathon, are there any upcoming maybe events or activations that folks can look forward to meet maybe you or the team?
Cosmoverse, of course. That's going to be the most immediate one. I gather we'll be at DevCon as well in some capacity. So looking at the end of the year, those are the two most immediate ones. Cosmoverse, I'm tremendously excited. I've had the chance to meet a couple of projects already across in Berlin and other of our like recent trips with the team, but Cosmoverse is going to be in the deep of it, in the entirety of the ecosystem, working like at the hackathon in Hackmos, but the latter part of it. And at the beginning of the main event in Cosmoverse, we'll be having like Interchain Day and the Interchain track as well, with a lot of ecosystem projects. The expansion of IBC this year was amazing, so you'll be hearing a lot more on that as well there. But most of the team, if not like almost the entirety of it, is going to be there. We're going to be there on the floor as well. So go find us.
Thank you so much, Nico. So to our viewers, idea hackers, if you are newer to the Interchain and you have the opportunity to get to Cosmoverse in Dubai at the end of this month, definitely do it. You'll get to meet so many fantastic builders and get connected to our community. This wraps up our opening ceremony for the IBC Ideathon Idea Hackers Guide to IBC. Idea submissions start today and they end on October 27th. You can submit your idea as a biddle on DoraHacks. And otherwise, if you need support, you can find us in Discord in the Idea Hackers Guide to IBC channel. And we have tons of resources available for you at ideahackers.ibcprotocol.dev and in the DoraHacks page for the Ideathon. So this is your IBC Ideathon coordination team signing out. So grateful to everyone from the Interchain Foundation who joined us today, and especially to Zoltan, who is our operations man, who makes sure that this whole thing happened. And so thank you very much, guys. If you have any questions, please do find us in Discord.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary and team. See you there.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Okay.